What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Game Show Invitational. It's going to be Game 2 in the best of 3 between 4Clovers and a Lepricon and Power Rangers. Game 1 went to 4Clovers after Power Rangers threw away quite the lead, so we'll see if Power Rangers can get a lead and then hold on to a lead right now. But for right now, guys, I'm Mikelorus, and one of your casters today. Danelie is here as well, and we're going to see a much more aggressive start from 4Clovers with a Night Stalker first pick.
Is Night Stalker typically warranted as a first pick hero, or is it just because of the new meta and we could see some more experimentation? Because normally I'd say Night Stalker's picked up third or fourth.
I think most of the time he is, at least most times I've seen, I think. I mean, I think he is powerful enough sometimes, like, sometimes he performs well enough to make it seem like he's a first pick worthy hero, but aside from that, it really depends on the game plan, and, well, when you have a game plan that involves Lestrak, then Night Stalker does get a lot better. They're planning on turbo aggro this game, but we saw this, or at least a little bit of it, coming out from them in the last game, where they were supposed to get a little bit ahead in the early stages, and it just never worked out. So if 4Clovers get behind with a pushing strategy, with an all-in strategy, then they won't really have many great ways of recovering, especially up against Power Rangers start with a Queen of Pain and a Gyrocopter.
The pick priorities for 4Clovers, though, it's all over the place, but they have a plan with this. They can now be aggressive with the Night Stalker, and they can also have some early pushing potential with a Leshrac. The question, though, is that is this going to be a core Leshrac, or is it going to be bumped down into a support position? Because if you pick two cores during the first phase of the game, it means Power Rangers has a lot of time to counter-pick, to counter-ban 4Clovers with whatever draft that they're going for. So maybe 4Clovers, they're just confident in these heroes and they're just going to play them as cores, or they could go for some mind games and just pick something else during their third, fourth, and fifth picks.
I mean, we already see the effect of picking up all these cores super early. We have 4 support heroes being banned out in the second phase. Lion, though, weirdly enough, is still available, and for Power Rangers, I don't really see a hugely compelling reason not to grab that hero. Shaker also did perform very well for 4Clovers in the last game, maybe in consideration for them, but yeah, for the Power Ranger side, they know that this upcoming aggressive strategy is going to be coming, so grabbing the inherently defensive hero in the Shaker is going to be well warranted. Then a Bane for 4Clovers. Nice little combination for the Lestrak. Shuts down Gyrocopter's damage output pretty hard. Not really the most common hero, but he probably will do pretty well in this game.
He is the king of single target lockdown. That's what Bane does the best. What he doesn't provide you, though, is he's going to give you no push. He's going to give you, it's just no push, no wave clear. So 4Clovers, they're confident in their Leshrac plus their last 2 picks to go for any sort of wave clear if necessary. But they do have some decent lockdown and control. They have the Night Stalker Void and Silence. You have the Leshrac Stun. You even have the Lightning Slow, 75% slow when you cast that. Absolutely absurd. So Power Rangers, they shouldn't underestimate the strange draft from 4Clovers. They're going to finalize their 4th pick with a Shadow Fiend, though, so they have some more damage going in their way, albeit magical damage during the early game, and later on, the Shadow Fiend can really start hitting hard.
This is I didn't expect the Shadow Fiend, actually. I was assuming Lestrak was going to go towards the mid lane. I guess he still can, but the Shadow Fiend in the safe lane, Night Stalker Bane as that, softer support Night Stalker that we see very often nowadays. That could be fine still for 4Clovers, but this Clockwork, I think, is going to be the most annoying thing. Ooh, Power Rangers gonna run back 4Clovers draft with the Bounty Hunters there last. Talk about that in a bit, but the Clockwork is gonna be such a pain in the ass for 4Clovers to deal with because, I mean, they have a Nightmare, which isn't really gonna help you when you're stuck in the cogs against Battery Assault, and they have 2 very, very squishy cores in the Shadow Fiend and Lestrak. They're gonna grab a Broodmother as their last, but Power Rangers, they have a Bounty Hunter already. They will be prepared at least once level 6 is hit with True Sight.
I'm surprised about this Broodmother pick as well. If you look at Power Rangers, they've got enough to deal with a Broodmother if necessary. They can shut down Sexy Bamboy, and then from that point on, it opens up the rest of 4Clovers. And you look at 4Clovers draft, it's either Sexy Bamboy that's going to make space for the rest of his team, or the rest of his team has to do it for Sexy Bamboy. But I think Power Rangers, they should be able to cope with this aggression from 4Clovers. But we'll have to see. Nothing has happened yet. We are just going to see some wards being purchased up by both sides.
So many wards being purchased. They're all on the Earthshaker as well. This dude is loaded up. But guys, this is game 2 4Clovers did take game 1. We'll see if they can make it happen here in game 2 with this weird split pushy / direct pushy type of strategy. For Power Rangers, though, they're going to send Cheshire Cat up towards the top lane as the Clockwork got his value mango going. Sunlight is once again going to be playing the Queen of Pain. J4 is on the Bounty Hunter. Got King R on the Earthshaker, and Ditchy-Ra is going to be hard farming the Gyrocopter.
On the side of 4Clovers, playing on the dire side down bottom, we have Sexy Bamboy, who's going to be handling our scary Broodmother. Towards the mid lane, we've got Vanscore on our Bane. Wagamama, who's going to be playing on our Shadow Fiend towards the top section. Please remind me who this is, because I have
Yol
no
on
idea.
Night Stalker, Vangscore
Yol.
on Bane, and then BZZ on Leshrac.
VZZ. Sorry,
Yes.
that's... People.
I don't know
their
how
names.
633 actually like translates to that, except for the fact that
Well,
3 kind of sounds like Z.
Yeah, 6
I guess
makes sense.
6 looks
But,
like B, and then 3 sounds like Z. It's a stretch.
It looks like B. You look
Yeah.
at it, it just looks like B. So, oh well. Now we know who they are. Or I know anyway.
Alright, so it's going to be Bambo just trying to grab this bounty rune. He'll get pretty close to it, but it's going to be the bounty hunter to grab the bounty rune. How fitting. And they have so much detection already in this lane. Actually, Shaker already deployed. No, wait, he didn't deploy anything. Where did his... Okay, he split up the wards a little bit. He gave 2 sentries to the bounty hunter. But Shaker and Gyrocopter versus Broodmother. With True Sight makes this lane so much easier, but Broodmother is not actually going to be in a ton of trouble, assuming she sticks close to her creep wave and makes sure that Rocket Barrage doesn't get focused only into her.
It also depends on who gets the D ward off first, because we have the sentry ward put down by Ditchy-Ra, but Sexy Bamboy has one too. So if he can actually get rid of that sentry ward, that's going to be really nice for him. It's just going to open up the lane, and Ditchy-Ra still has to be careful going up against that Broodmother. She can always hide under the cover of her webs.
Like, even right now, the Gyrocopter has full vision of where Bambo is going to be going. And it doesn't matter, just because Gyrocopter by himself with the Broodmother in the webs, in the creep wave, is going to be taking no damage from this Gyrocopter at all. Initially, Gyrocopter doesn't have a super amount of damage to begin with, but Ditchy-Ra can peck at Bambo, but that won't really do anything. He really needs 1-2 other support heroes, but this is where we see the weakness again of this supporty bounty hunter. He doesn't offer you anything in the early stages except for a little bit of annoyance to the enemy side. Needs to get some experience going, and then he really gets going, but other than that, he's not going to have a huge impact. And for right now, Bambo up against Ditchy-Ra should be a Broodmother favored lane to begin with, and that should get more Broodmother favored as the game progresses on.
Yeah, all those levels going into Broodmother spells, they really, really scale well. So it's going to be a hindrance to Ditchy-Ra. We'll have to see if Power Rangers decides to rotate any supports in to either help him, or if they want to try and win those other lanes, they're just going to say, okay, we're just going to sack you. We'll see how long you can last up against that Brood. We're going to try and beat this mid lane and off lane so that we have a decent start. J4, they're going to be sitting on the bounty rune. He won't get it though. Oh god, Yol managing to take it from right under his nose, but we are going to have 2 heroes fighting up against each other, but nothing really going to come out of it.
Oh,
that fissure.
Has Vangscore coming in with a little bit of Enfeeble for a little bit more HP for Wog. It looks like they don't quite have enough damage, at least not to compete with the level 3 Shadow Fiend in order to get that kill, but Haste Rune on King R, that's the type of rotations that Power Rangers would like to make on this Shadow Fiend, but a little bit too slow, a little bit too late, and Shadow Fiend gets to walk, and Vangscore's still pretty much sticking around this mid lane, making it a full-on duel. The difference here with what the 4Clovers side are doing with their supports and what Power Rangers are doing is that the Leshrac and the Broodmother are not suffering because of the fact that they don't have a Bane with them.
Oh, down bottom. Ditchy-Ra is going to go down first blood to Sexy Bamboy. That was just Spiderlings and right clicks. Oh man.
And no supports. Man, I was just
no
making that point. Like, they need supports for this Gyrocopter. He's not exactly the strongest laner, but Leshrac, he's level 4, he's level 2 Lightning. He doesn't need anyone to help him out. He has the mana, or when he has mana, he'll be able to lock down the lane just with lightning spam.
Yeah, absolutely. So bottom lane has technically been won by Sexy Bamboy unless Power Rangers is going to commit a little bit more support to keeping him defended, although, King R, you don't want to show your face anywhere near Broodmother. And, here we go. Oh, the Spiderlings, look how much damage they're doing.
And now he's trapped.
Well, Etric is blocked. Death by spiders. A bit insulting, but, well, Bamboy, been very happy, Broodmama.
Like, life sucks and then you die. That's all I gotta say for the Earthshaker. You can't do anything about that. He only has, he doesn't have any the Aftershock, so using Enchant Totem there does nothing. And now Ditchyra's back in. Gyrocopter, like, in theory would be good at clearing Spiderlings, but that theory only kicks in once he hits level 6. Same thing for the Earthshaker, like, you have those dreams of getting those huge Echo Slams, but that doesn't happen when you're level 2. And until that happens, Broodmother is happily farming away. She's almost at her level 6 as well, but more crucially, she has her Soul Ring. So the never-ending spam of the Spiderlings to create this giant army that Power Rangers won't be able to handle is dangerous enough, not to mention the injections into the heroes themselves. They need more heroes in this game, Power Rangers. Top lane is not doing well, not by any means. Mid lane is doing very poorly, all things considered. I would expect the Queen of Pain to be doing a lot better right now, but this is the same start that we saw in last game. 4Clovers were down 2 kills, they got very far behind, and then they recovered, so it ain't over till it's over.
It ain't over till the Bounty Hunter gets 6. If the game GG's before 6, then that's a bit of an issue. So bottom's definitely been lost for Power Rangers, and they're not winning these other lanes. Oh, there's the dust. They want J4. There's even going to be the stun as well, and, well, what can you really do as a Bounty? Cheshire Cat wanted to save his buddy, but he's going to get nightmared. Down bottom, though, Broodmother getting another kill onto the Gyro and Cheshire Cat. There's the Cogs. Fisher's going to be there to disconnect 4Clovers. And they're going to manage to save one hero, but at what cost? 2 other heroes.
I think Power Rangers just won the game, because this is exactly how the last game started, and 4Clovers won that one. So, if we follow history, then Power Rangers, or 4Clovers are going to make some suicide plays, Power Rangers are going to capitalize, and then come back in. That's what's going to happen. Maybe.
Power Rangers, they just have to abandon that bottom lane. They can't leave anybody down there by themselves. You either need 2 heroes, or you just abandon it. Because Sexy Bamboy, with the Spiderlings alone, especially when he starts accumulating those Spiderlings, it's a very big problem, because they don't really have any wave clear, or decent wave clear at least, aside from Sunlight. But he's stuck middle lane. You don't want to leave a lane open to a Shadow Fiend. So they don't have enough hands, as you mentioned before, to really help these other lanes. So Power Rangers, they're struggling now. Or BZZ.
Top is going to get jumped by J4, but this is a level 3 Bounty Hunter we're talking about. Doesn't actually have that much damage output. He'll try to go for the Shrek, but now they know that he doesn't have any invis for a little while. And here comes Vangscore. Has Nightmare. He's going to get the Lightning off as well, and J4 is so dead right now. Split the earth under his feet. 5-0 for 4Clovers. Finally, Call Down is up for Ditchyra. He's going to clear out quite a few of those Spiderlings, but don't always have that call down available, and still this Broodmother is doing much better than Broodmothers usually do. This is also the first nighttime phase, and, well, Y'all's only level 3 at this point. That's pretty much what you would expect, but Leshrac, he is level 6 right now, does not have any Edict. I would expect him to go a little bit lighter in the Split Earth just to capitalize on some pushing, but still, he's holding on to quite a bit of nuking damage.
Maybe they weren't expecting to go for such an early push. Maybe they thought the laning phase was going to be a little bit more difficult. There could be a lot of ideas as to why they didn't pick Diabolic Edict, but
J4.
It's still a lot of damage. Oh no, J4! Death by Spider.
He went invisible right next to his tower. Unfortunately, there was an observer ward spotting him the entire time, so they just waited patiently, used the dust, beat him down, and, well, Bounty Hunter's still level 3 and doesn't look like he's going to get much for a little while. We had this same exact game state in the last game, and everything that we said last game still applies. Power Rangers need to get level 6 on this Bounty Hunter. They need to use their high burst to kill off enemies, and hopefully kill off Wagamama as well. He's been the quietest hero on the 4Clovers side, sitting at a score of 0-0-0, but he's going for that mech. He's going to get Power Charge soon. He's going to get jumped as well. Cheshire Cat's going to wall him off with the Battery Assault. That's the death of the Shadow Fiend. Finally, Power Rangers get on the board, but unfortunately for them, J4 was not involved in it.
Yeah, they actually missed the hook shot with Cheshire Cat, but they still wanted to go for the kill anyway. J4, though, he's on his own side of the map, but it doesn't even feel like it's just 4Clovers have been completely dominating it. Mid lane, they're going to get another kill onto Vanscore, this time on the Bane. I actually wanted to mention earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if Power Rangers, the whole squad, just woke up with arachnophobia the next day. Bamboo on this Broodmother has been causing so much havoc that if Power Rangers don't commit anything down bottom, they're going to lose heroes inevitably. And if they leave the lane, then you're going to have a Broodmother hitting on your T3 towers at possibly the 15-minute mark at the rate that it's going at. So lots of issues being caused by 4Clovers. Power Rangers, at this point, they're just going to have to slowly pick up kills and either draw even or get ahead. The only issue is Bounty Hunter is level 3, so track's going to be pretty far off unless they can grab some kills with the bounty.
Bang score looking for Cheshire Cat up towards top lane. Will not be able to get in range as fast as he needs to. And over towards mid, they're going to jump in again onto Yol. It's the third time in a row that 4Clovers are just putting heroes in the mid lane for the Queen of Pain to feed on. Shaker also cashing in there. King R setting everything up with a fissure. And well, 4Clovers, it's not as bad like in the mid lane as it is for Power Rangers on the bottom lane, but they're sending very soft heroes there consistently. And Queen of Pain is getting kills without even needing to use Sonic Wave. In fact, doesn't even have it. Now into BZZ, they go hookshot in from Cheshire Cat. TPs are coming in, though, which will push back Yol. But Split Earth is going to catch Cheshire Cat. Is he still in tower range? He is. Lightning is going to drop him very low. Bottling up, though. He looks like he's going to slip away. Sunlight might not be as lucky. However, Fissure is going to hit Bang Score. Will not connect onto Yol, and Sunlight has another blink out. Bang Score won't be able to catch up there. So it will be a clean escape from the Power Ranger side, but BZZ does survive. And overall, it's just TPs being forced, a little bit of mana being expended, and that's about it.
That was all Power Rangers could really ask for. If they lost the clockwork, that would have been a big blow. Or if you think about it, any death on the side of Power Rangers is a big blow. They need all the manpower they can get. Down bottom, Sexy Bambo, just doing the thing he needs to do as a brood mama. He's getting that tower pretty low, and well, he's there with his spiderlings, and he's ready for anyone that tries to come into what you could say his jungle. He's just taken up the whole Radiant jungle. So it's a lot of space that Power Rangers can't use to farm. They're going to have to deal with him eventually.
In this game, there's the Dire jungle and the Broodmother jungle, and the Radiant just don't have anything. That's what happens, man, when you don't enforce the laws of jungling and stuff. Bambo's going to get a lot of his spiderlings cleared out in the bottom lane, but Sunlight, he can't quite catch up, and Bambo is home free. He is also going to go for a Necro Book, so these towers have already taken a lot of chip damage. Soon they're going to get, large burst pushes, but over towards top lane, hook shot in, Sonic Wave onto 2, Bang Score will get the Brain Sap out. Cheshire Cat dying a lot faster than Bang Score, but he will die first, it's Bane. And Cheshire Cat tanky enough to survive all of that. Leshrac looking for a little bit more, but King R is there with the fissure from the high ground. They can even consider turning this one around. That fissure was ambitious. And BZ will not get hit by it, but it's still a free kill for the Power Rangers side. They are slowly but surely starting to recover in this game if they can get a beat on this Broodmother, who actually has gone for a Dagon instead. Never mind. So her burst killing potential is going to skyrocket, and 4Clovers are going to be working with Nighttime in just 45 seconds. And by that time, ideally for them, they would have a mech on their Shadow Fiend.
Keep in mind, though, a Dagon on a Broodmother, it's a very gimmicky thing. He has gone for a Hand of Midas, though, so he can get items after this relatively quickly. The thing is, though, you go for a Dagon on a Broodmother, you're expecting to constantly get kills and just zone everyone out on the side of Power Rangers. If Power Rangers can hang on to the game and start getting tanky and actually start becoming threats, a Dagon Broodmother's nothing. Absolutely nothing. So if Power Rangers, they just have to hang on, get tanky, get items, start contesting with 4Clovers, they can deal with their draft, and they can come back. We may see a game 3 out of this. The only issue is that can they hang on, because this horse is kicking, and he's kicking hard.
And up towards top, it looks like they're going to mobilize for their push. Mech is going to get flown out. That's that up, and Cheshire Cat has arrived, makes his presence known, so they will be aware of the fact that the hookshot can be cast, and they may be able to stem that problem before it really gets going, because Night Stalker has an Invis rune. He is going to stalk Cheshire Cat. This tower, is taking Edict damage yet? No, still no Edict damage, but it looks like they don't even need it, because they will know if Cheshire Cat gets into a position to actually go in. J4, he's also in the area, but they will repel that one down towards bottom lane in the meantime. Spiderlings on the run. That's a lot of extra cash for the Power Ranger side, but Bambo still in the trees, stay in the trees, and they will be just fine. But yeah, top lane, tower is going to drop, and it's really a shame that BZZ doesn't actually have any points in Edict right now, because this could be going so much faster if he did.
I'm surprised he's actually not gone for this. If anything, I would like to ask as to why they put no points into this. So they're going to chase after J4. Yes, they do. Oh, God, he just completely got decimated. Really nice hookshot from Cheshire Cat connecting onto 2. Where's the follow-up, though? They do manage to kill off the Night Stalker and Ditira. He came in, but he just gets completely decimated. 4 heroes down for 4Clovers. That's a massive win for Power Rangers. Obviously, Bambo is down bottom, but for all of a sudden, Power Rangers, they get a massive wad of cash going their way. 2.8k gold.
3-man hookshot into a 2-man cog. Doesn't get much better, and then he
Cheshire
teleports
Cat
into
down
Bambo
bottom.
and then just instantly dies. So, I guess everyone has their moment, and the Cheshire Cat moment was up towards top lane, not necessarily in the bottom lane. But that's fine, because it's still a 4 for 3, all things considered. And it was really just that hook shot that turned things around there. 4Clovers, at the end of the day, they're still very soft. Like, the Shrek is starting to build into a little bit more bulk, has point booster and that bracer, but he's not that tanky just yet. And when you have a Rocket Barrage level 4 and a Call Down all landing on pretty much everyone for 4Clovers, with the mech already being used, that's not good times for them. So, they really just needed to take a more scattered fight, more less team fight oriented fight, let's say, and a more single target based fight. And if that happens, then they're going to be in a much better position for Clovers. But this call down, I mean, Gyrocopter's been completely crushed this entire game, but call down still is call down, and it's still going to do a lot of damage if you are in a position to take those rockets.
He's useful, which is the forgiving thing for Power Rangers. They go for a carry who can go late, but can also fight early. He provides something for the team. So they're in a good spot with the Gyrocopter. They just have to try and win another fight like that, whether it be from good initiation or whether it just be from 4Clovers overextending. We can't count out the overextension factor. We saw it last game. It could happen this game. 4Clovers up top. It wasn't overextension, it was just really good initiation from Power Rangers.
And of course now we have a pause. Fantastic. Well, in the meantime, bottom lane, Sunlight and King R, I mean, they don't actually have any true sight, but Bambo, still being a nuisance right now, is actually choosing to level up his Dagon. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Like, as you said, it's a pretty gimmicky build. If you don't actually get kills with this consistently, you're throwing gold away, and he hasn't, I don't think, so far. Like, he got the free kill on Cheshire Cat, who pretty much just served himself up on a silver platter, but aside from that, Bambo, I don't even think has used the Dagon yet, let alone used it effectively, so this may be a little bit of wasted gold here from the Broodmother, though she is on top of the net worth chart. If you're throwing gold away on less than ideal items, bad times there. King R, speaking of bad times, swarmed by spiders, gonna clear all of them out, though, with the help of Cheshire Cat's rocket. That's a good 100 gold at least for them, but it's gonna be Yol to find Sunlight. No, Sunlight will blink away, even though it is darkness. And Cheshire Cat really wants in right now. Roshan is being cleared slowly, very slowly, and Power Rangers are fully aware of this, so I don't think this is the right thing for 4Clovers to do. They're really spread out right now. Now they're tracked up, and yeah, killing off Roshan, not viable at this point. They have to fall back.
I love Power Rangers just putting up all these reserve awards all over the place. They just want this vision. If they can get vision, if they can get the tracks down, they can see where 4Clovers is, and they can decide who they want to prioritize. And Sexy Bamboy, he is a Broodmother. He still has to be careful. He's still squishy. 1k HP. If he gets tracked, he's dead if Power Rangers decide to jump on him. But J4, he manages to throw a track off, and the dust has been deployed. Oh, God. That used to be a bounty hunter. Actually, still alive. Never mind. There's going to be the lightning to pick him off. So that's going to be a 4v5.
They're just going to connect onto Yol, but they can't follow up on that one. Yeah, there's dust on the 4Clover side, and Bounty Hunter, well, as an invisible hero ever, you're always checking inventories for dust. You're especially scared of gems that are to pop up, but yeah, Bounty Hunter just thought he was fast enough to get away, and that just wasn't the case. So he throws his life away, but he's still a level 6 Bounty Hunter right now. I don't think he's actually gotten many track kills, like maybe 1 or 2 up on the top lane, but that's about it. Sunlight in the bottom lane, Split Earth, free-handed, will connect. Now the Dagon Blast and Broodmother will kill off the Queen of Pain, ending her mega kill spree. That's going to give a lot of cash to Bambo, and may actually clear the path for 4Clovers to clear off this Roshan, or go for another push, or maybe even both.
They're thinking about it. They got a couple of heroes congregating nearby the pit, and looks like they are going to attempt to take Roche. Wagamama going to be the first one to head in. He's got a mech, so he can heal himself up a little bit after a while, but looks like... Are they going to go for it? They do pop the medallion. Wagamama's just kind of going to hit it once and leave. The rest of his team, they're thinking about it, but Power Rangers, they're nearby. They have everyone that they actually don't have everyone that they need. They've only got 2 down bottom, and they've only got 2 up top. Hookshot is going to connect onto Yol. Do they have enough follow-up damage? Are they going to try and chase after him? There's the fissure to... Oh, that did not block his way out. Actually, never mind. He's stuck in a corner. Echo Slam going to be committed to grab the kill. There is going to be a Brain Sap onto King R, but already one hero off the map for 4Clovers, although they are hunting with Sexy Bamboy and his army of spiderlings.
I'm pretty sure Yol gets out of there if he just runs straight to the south. But for some reason, he, like, ran into this corner, and I don't really know where you're going to escape from there, but... Yeah, they end up killing the Night Stalker. Either way, that's really what matters, and now they're still on the hunt. 4Clovers have really stopped their aggression, or at least have stopped getting super ahead. Even though Power Rangers, they're not really recovering this game by a ton because of the towers claimed by 4Clovers and the lack of track kills for them. they have stabilized in this game. Like, they don't have to worry about their structures just yet. They have full vision in the Roche pit and the surrounding area, so they know right now that 4Clovers are in this area. Can they do anything about it? Flare is nice. Mech, however, will buff all of that out, and Power Rangers, they're going to smoke up, make a beeline. They have Call Down, they have Sonic Wave, they have a hook shot in 3 seconds. And that is a lot to deal with. But with the Aegis already claimed, they don't have to deal with necessarily. BZ going to get hook shot in by Cheshire Cat. BZ taking a lot of damage right now. Will pop everything he has, but he will go down. Sonic Wave as well. Will kill off the Shadow Fiend. Bang score. Get the grip onto Sunlight, but that won't do nearly enough. Cheshire Cat's going to lead the charge onto the Night Stalker, onto Bang score both. That's going to be 3-4 kills. They do lose the Earthshaker, and now the Broodmother is going to come in with their Spiderlings. Bang score somehow still alive. Getting bottled up. The Shuriken, though, will kill him off eventually. And J4 is on the run. Can he run away from this Broodmother, though? This Broodmother does not have vision. I don't think she has vision, so that's not going to be a kill. But in the end, it's a 4 for 3. I guess Power Rangers can call that one a victory unless... Oh, no, they do get vision after all. But Broodmother gets sniped by a rocket from Cheshire Cat. Man, Cheshire Cat's clockwork has been overperforming in this game.
That was awesome. That was really awesome. Good plays from Power Rangers. Did they actually burn the Aegis? I think they did.
Yeah, that
yes,
was like...
they burnt the Aegis.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
Sonic
that was
Wave
depressing.
through Lestrak and the Shadow Fiend in a row, so pretty much as good as it gets for the Queen of Pain there.
It was, yeah, it was great. It was an Aegis denied from 4Clovers. They pretty much have an even trade. I think Power Rangers got the better end of it because they are still a little bit behind. If you take a look at net worth, significantly behind, especially the Broodmother and that monster kill streak on her as well. It's a lot of gold going in the way of Power Rangers. So great fight for them. Can they keep the momentum up though? They do have the late game potential to actually fight up against 4Clovers, and the way that 4Clovers has decided to itemize, especially on the Broodmother, there's an opening that Bamboy can really be jumped on by Power Rangers. Let's take a look at the rest of the draft. No damage items yet onto Wagamama. He's actually going to pick up what seems to be a BKB, Ogre Club first pickup, so he realizes he needs to avoid a lot of the control from Power Rangers and some of the magical burst as well. On the Leshrac, Bloodstone Leshrac, it's pretty normal. I don't really want to add anything onto that, but they haven't itemized for the late game. They're just kind of itemizing for this the mid to the early sections of that late game. So if it keeps going in this direction, Power Rangers are going to overtake them.
Especially since their tier 2 towers are all still up. Broodmother has put a lot of damage into the bottom lane. It's even in deny range, but it's still alive, and that's pretty crucial for Power Rangers right now. 4Clovers, they have to make some sort of aggressive play, and it was ideally going to be with that Aegis. Now that they have BKB on Waga, they can make another aggressive play since, I mean, it'll block the Clockwork's damage, and that's really the pain for 4Clovers right now. This Clockwork, I said in the draft, is going to be the most threatening hero for 4Clovers, and it certainly is the case. They're just going to straight push this bottom lane. Tier 2 tower pretty much dead already, so that push is going to succeed almost for sure, but Power Rangers, they are getting quite a bit more in this game and are closing in at parity right now. They just have to make sure to keep getting the initiations off. Cheshire Cat keeps on landing hook shots to start things off. It's going to be great for them. J4 can get the track onto Bambo right now. They do get the Nightmare onto J4. Do they have True Sight? Well, they don't need it with Fiend's Grip. Cheshire Cat jumps in a little bit too late, however. Bambo is going to get called down and Sonic Wave. That's going to be the Broodmother down in exchange for the bounty. A great trade right now for Power Rangers if they can disengage, and it looks like they might be able to. You're a little bit too far away. Tier 2 tower does drop in the meantime, but it's a small price to pay for Power Rangers.
Small price for Power Rangers, big cost for 4Clovers. 1.2k gold just because of the Broodmother kill. That's also including the gold lost by the Bounty. Well, actually, Bounty didn't really lose too much because he died in the beginning of it anyway. So, good stuff for Power Rangers. They're just slowly capitalizing on the fact that there are some pretty fat heroes on 4Clovers, but it's not on any dangerous items. It's just a lot of defensive items, or the Broodmother. He's only got the Dagon, so once the Dagon's been used by Brood, what can he really do? So, Power Rangers, they just got to keep chugging on. 4Clovers, I feel like they're in a bit of a weird spot. They have to just group up and try and go for these objectives. They have to try and fight into Power Rangers. They just have to deal with the Clockwork. That Clockwork, as you mentioned, he's just been disrupting the team fights for 4Clovers, and they don't really have enough to deal with him. They don't have anything like 4-staffs to 4-staff their teammates out. They don't have anything like Yules to keep themselves alive. So they're in a bit of a weird spot, but they have BKBs, or they have the BKB on Wagamama. There is a problem though, a BKB picked up on the gyro.
That's going to be really difficult for 4Clovers to deal with, unless they could burst them down beforehand. That is possible with Grip and the burst damage from the Broodmother. 4Clovers now on the smoke, and this time it's going to be a lot more difficult for Power Rangers to get initiation off because they don't know what's right around the corner. 4Clovers, if they can catch someone right here, that can very easily be a tier 2 tower or forced buybacks, both of which are really good for them. But I don't really know if they're going to find anyone. No, they can't. J4 wanders in a little bit too late, does see Bambo, and Bambo is spotted as well. But yeah, this is just going to be a straight push for 4Clovers with only level 2 Edict. It's not going to be as fast as it really should be. 23 minutes in the game, y'all. Going to find Sunlight up on the high ground, but this Queen of Pain is a haste rune, and it's going to be a very slow, methodical push for the 4Clovers side. They might be able to get away with it, but at the same time, Cheshire Cat now has a lot of space for him to actually get initiation off, and he sees Waga and BZZ. Bounty Hunter gets picked off in the bottom end, still watching for that hook shot, though. Do Power Rangers even want to go without their Bounty Hunter? They have full vision, but they're going to hold on to it for right now.
Okay, so I think, they're going to throw the cooldown into Wagamama, Blink 4 by Sunlight. They really want to commit the kill onto Wagga. He's still got the BKB up, but he doesn't even have to pop it. He does pop it in the end. They do get the counter kill onto the Queen of Pain and PR. They have to back out at this point. They have to give away this Tier 2 tower, and they're going to have to try and stall. Oh, actually, do they have to? Oh, looks like 4Clovers, they're afraid. They're actually afraid of Power Rangers going in for a second initiation because they're also worried that Sunlight might have buyback Ditya. Do you really want to go that far forward? Oh, he's pretty low, but he's going to be able to back out. BKB is up if he needs to. Echo Slam's going to be there, but actually, BZZ is still alive on the Leshrac because of the... Actually, no BKB on him. He's actually still alive. 26 HP. He does manage to get out. No one's died yet, though. I'm really surprised. Bamboy, though, he does manage to get the Dagon off, and that's going to be the Bounty Hunter offline. Earthshaker does finish off the Leshrac, but he's going to have to pay with his life. 3 for 1. Not the best trade for Power Rangers at all.
For 4Clovers, like, they really didn't want to fight there because Wagamama was not that healthy, but two big things happened in that fight that led to BZ actually getting out of there and forcing Power Rangers to overcommit. Leshrac got his Force Staff delivered midway through that fight. Like, he was stuck in cogs, and then he got his Force Staff delivered. And also, the Bane applied the plus armor from the Medallion, or the Valor, I suppose, to that Leshrac, and that let Leshrac survive at barely double digits of HP. So, 4Clovers with some clutch plays still are unable to take down this Tier 2 tower, but with the amount of Bloodstone charges on the Leshrac, he's now back up, and if 4Clovers really want to, they can go again, unless Bambo dies right now. He's going to let his presence be known with the Dagon Blast. Just a warning shot for now, but yeah, Power Rangers that time don't really get great initiation. By the time Cheshire Cat was ready to hook shot in, they already were down 2 heroes, and then that's less than ideal for initiation purposes. But yeah, if they were able to start things off at a full 5-on-5, they clearly have a lot of burst damage to put into the Shadow Fiend. And if he doesn't have his BKB up, it's going to really cost Waga and the entire 4Clovers side pretty much all of their fighting potential should he get bursted down. But on the other end, like, 4Clovers also had a lot of bursts right now, but they just are struggling to land it. Bang Score's going to get jumped by J4, but suddenly Bambo is there. They see J4 and they will brain sap him down. However, it will be at the trade of the Night Stalker right now. Off to the right side, they do take him down. Where is the last hero from 4Clovers? Where's the Leshrac? He's nowhere close. I think that means they have to fall back. Just an even 1-for-1.
Even 1-for-1, but it's a trade that Power Rangers, they'd take any day. If you think about it, the Bounty Hunter at this point, he's expendable. He's not rich. He's actually relatively poor. He's giving gold to the rest of his team, which is his main job. Oh, God. Down bottom, though, looks like Cheshire Cat is going to be taking down BKB as well as the Blade Mail, and he just TP's out. So he's fine. Unable to actually cancel that out. They could have used the Fiend's Grip. Not too sure if Vanscore was too far away for that. He probably was.
Yeah, there's no situation where you hold the Fiend's Grip. If you get a grip kill on the Clockwork, you're going to take that every single time. So must have just been a movement speed and range thing. But 4Clovers, either way, they do force out the 9-second BKB charge of the Clockwork, and I don't think it's going to be super substantial because they can't take Roshan immediately afterwards, but still less magic immunity for the Clockwork is going to mean that Leshrac is able to apply a little bit more consistent damage in that department. Same thing for the Broodmother, who is, a caster Broodmother, I suppose you could say at this point. Not having to worry about BKB. Still has to worry about Blade Mail, but I mean, it's half the problem, I suppose, or at least half the problem less. Sunlight's gonna TP out of the top jungle, but really what 4Clovers want right now is Roshan, and that's pretty much it. If they can get a kill beforehand, that'll be great, but they're not actively searching for it.
They're pretty much just stumbling onto kills, really. They don't really try and look for the fights. They might look for it now, though. Ditya will manage to TP out, so that's going to be his life pretty much preserved for the next 2 minutes. But, y'all, he's still searching for somebody. He's not going to find anyone, though. Do we have any items? Is that in full ags? Nope, just observer wards picked up on your Night Stalker. Are there actually any big items coming up anytime soon for these teams? There looks like a BKB's coming up soon on our Bane. It's pretty close. Just needs the recipe at this point. And after that, that's going to be a uncontested Fiend's Grip. And that's going to be scary for Power Rangers because they have nothing to pierce the BKB aside from the hookshot. But normally you want to use the hookshot as initiation. You don't want to save it to cancel out a Fiend's Grip.
Well, right now, I don't think there's anything else that's going to be purchased up before this Roshan fight. Like, lots of heroes are holding on to a lot of value right now. Shadow Fiend is going for a butterfly, so his right clicks are actually going to start to do some damage. There's 2200 on the Leshrac, 27 on Bambo, but I'm pretty sure it's an Ethereal Blade for him, and so, yeah, you probably just don't want to buy that one up immediately because, well, first of all, you don't have enough gold. Second of all, you may want to save for buyback in this type of situation. It's a bottom lane push for Power Rangers. This is where 4Clovers are potentially at their strongest because they do have the lightning spam, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Cheshire Cat to get initiation unless they see Bambo. He's right outside of the sentry range, so he will not be hit with the hookshot just yet unless he stumbles into it. But 4Clovers, they're at their strongest when they're on the defense, but they don't really want to be on the defense right now. They want to be attacking non-stop, and Roshan should be a part of that plan, but you can see the positioning of Power Rangers, with the exception being Ditchyrob towards top lane, who actually doesn't have a TP. That's actually really bad. Gyrocopter needs a TP, like, right now.
I'm surprised he doesn't have one, but he can purchase it up from the secret shop if necessary, but he's going to be greedy and go for the bounty rune. But luckily for him, his team's not going to be jumped on. Just J4 taking a Dagon to the face from Sexy Bamboy. Just going to be annoying. He doesn't really have anything to sustain himself in terms of regen, besides the Tranquil Boots. So Roshan will be attempted. It looks like J4 is going to be coming in. There's the Echo Slam going to connect onto Wagamama as well as BCZ, but there's going to be the Nightmare. They do get the Shadow Fiend. They will lose the Earthshaker in the process. Bounty's going to be there. He threw the track down, but he just goes down so quickly. Ditya in the middle of the fray. He's trying to do whatever he can with the cooldown, but is he kind of just standing there? He is actually starting to move. I think that was because of the Fiend's Grip. Bamboy, what can you really do? It's a Broodmother. Once you pop the Dagon, nothing. So 3 heroes down for 4Clovers. Power Rangers, they're going to try and claim the Roshan. Buyback from Bamboy though, and this might be enough to just scare away Power Rangers for now. And looks like it is. Little spider army is coming.
Power Rangers that for like the 3rd or 4th fight in a row just instantly won them the fight. They were able to kill off Shadow Fiend without him doing anything. Wasn't able to get the mech off nor the BKB. They dumped everything they had into him with great initiation from that Earthshaker and just destroyed his health pool. And this is even with Shadow Fiend going for a mech and BKB. Should be more resilient to those types of plays, but just didn't have enough HP. So Power Rangers, if they keep bursting down the Shadow Fiend to start things off, that's how they win all of these fights. And that is what is going to start eventually bringing them back into this game, or equalizing the net worth and gold lead. Technically, it's still being held by 4Clovers, but it doesn't really feel like they have the advantage.
It really doesn't. It feels very, very even. But think about it though. 4Clovers, if they're not this far ahead, I actually think they'd be pretty far behind, or they would have massive disadvantages during the team fight. So for the moment, it's a blessing that they are ahead in terms of net worth with those 2 heroes. Power Rangers, if they overtake with their Gyrocopter and their Queen of Pain, 4Clovers are going to run into problems, and those problems are not going to be resolved anytime soon. There's no one item that they could pick up on a hero to win them the game. They need everybody on their draft to really fight. There's just nothing on the side that they can really do. And, well, Yol's going to be taken down by Bounty, and an Earthshaker actually is still alive. He's going to throw a Void. We have BZZ chasing after them with a little bit, but they will disengage. There's the 4-star, and he wants to chase after King R, who he has a Blink Dagger. He just blinks into the trees and TP's out. There's going to be no stun. He will attempt it, but a little bit too late. So that's no kills going in the way. Never mind. Queen of Pain getting the Night Stalker with the Sonic Wave and a TP out. So no casualties for PR.
That was actually really weird. Like, the Leshrac had Split Earth and had a very clear 2-hero Split Earth available to him if he just casted it, but instead decided to use the Lightning and tried to disengage for the Night Stalker. I guess he figured Split Earth had no guarantee of landing, whereas Lightning does, but yeah, BZZ, I think, could have killed off, or at least, you know, made it a little bit easier for them to actually kill off those heroes, but Night Stalker going down, yeah, his Aghanims is slowed down a little bit, but at this point, he's an expendable hero for the 4Clovers side, with the exception being the fact that, well, there's losing heroes, and that's never really good. At least for them, it wasn't a track kill. J4 was not in the area to actually capitalize on that, but 4Clovers, they are starting to slow down a lot. They really need Waga to pick up some sort of damage item. He needs this butterfly so badly, but even then, Gyro has a BKB and a Satanic now. He's gonna get hookshot up towards top lane, caught in the cogs as well as a 4-staff, but he's gonna BKB try to TP out. The physical damage is high, but it won't be high enough. BZZ gets to live on the top lane, albeit barely.
And that also cost him a 10-second BKB charge. That's massive. You don't want to use a 10-second BKB charge defensively, but he was forced into a bit of an awkward position to do so. So unfortunate there for 4Clovers. It won't be 10-second next time. It'll still be 9-second, but you would rather have the full duration for the next team fight, which may happen soon, but downtime for the moment. Team still farming away for some new items. But yes, we do need to see the butterfly picked up on Waga, but he needs buyback as well. And he's just not getting enough gold to get the butterfly fast enough plus buyback. He might have to kind of risk it and buy the butterfly and then farm it, the rest of the buyback afterwards. But we'll see. Bamboy on a bit of a mission.
Yeah, I don't think he could actually kill any of these heroes. Maybe he has enough burst to kill off this Shaker if he sees him, but Shaker is long gone at this point, so Broodmother, this is like as gimmicky as it gets. It's really effective if you are ahead, but if you're behind, like, she can't even kill off, or I mean, I think it's just the Shaker and Bounty Hunter that she could possibly kill off, at least with her burst combo. But if she was going for actual, like, battle items in this Broodmother, like a butterfly of her own, like Daedalus, Manta Style, those types of items, then 4Clovers would actually be ahead and actually feel like they're ahead. But right now, because Bambo has gone for this pretty much one-shot Broodmother build, it doesn't feel like she's actually holding onto as much net worth as she is because, well, Dagon is the most expensive item in the game, Dagon 5, and it's not doing that much. So for 4Clovers, maybe they think they're behind, maybe they don't, but Waga does have his butterfly up right now. It seems like, once again, it's going to be the Aegis that is going to be what they're going to want to use, but they can't really use because Bambo is the one to have it, mostly because Shadow Fiend wasn't alive at the time to grab it.
I'm actually surprised they put it onto Bamboy. They could have put it on a support, really, just to help them survive the team fights, because you got to admit, just having a Bane or a Night Stalker or just anyone else aside from Bamboy in those team fights, they're very valuable. Just having that extra lockdown. Bamboy on the Brood, he pops two items and a nuke with the spawn spiderlings, and that's it. He's not going to give you anything else. I hope to see some pushing items, or at least to start seeing him chew through the T3 tower eventually, but he will be tracked up. He will try and go for the combo into J4. He won't go down. He is going to go for the ultimate. He wants King R, but look at all these heroes on the side of Power Rangers. Actually, Bamboy able to survive a little bit, but he will go down. Aegis has been popped, but the rest of his team, they're coming in really fast. They're actually going to commit everything onto the Brood. Can they kill Bamboy? There's the Echo Slam going to connect on the 3 heroes, but BKB was popped by Wagamama. He pops the ultimate as well. Bounty Hunter down as well as Brood. Deira, he's trying to fight like a man, but the rest of his team, they kind of left him at this point, so he's pretty much gone. So Broodmother and Aegis for a Gyro and a Bounty. They might re-engage. They're thinking about it. It's just King R with the fissure. Oh, he actually gets caught. The blink did not come off cooldown quick enough. So some extra losses for Power Rangers. That was not worth it.
That was pretty much the difference between this fight and the previous fights, was the fact that they used all their burst on the Broodmother. Again, she's a one-off hero. You can even let her live for the most part in those fights, because once she dumps her damage once, she's done. Waga started that fight off at full HP, and that has not been happening in this game at all. He's been starting these fights off, well, he hasn't really been in the fights because he's just been dead to start things off, so I guess like that's as different as it possibly gets. Waga was able to survive, get the Requiem off. They were able to get an uncontested Fiend's Grip off as well. And now they're going to apply a little bit of pressure to the high ground. I don't know if they should be falling back right now. They have the Edict and they have no Gyrocopter to worry about, but they're going to fall back either way. That targeting from Power Rangers, they just didn't expect that many 4Clovers heroes to be arriving. If they did, definitely no call down in the Broodmother, definitely not every single ass they had put into that Spider, and they would have actually been able to fight 4Clovers at parity, if not with a lead, but instead they dumped damage into the hero that they expected to get the kill on, and they did, but it wasn't the correct hero. They needed to save that burst for Wagamama, because if he's left alive, this Shadow Fiend is going to make them regret it.
Yeah, he is starting to hit hard with the butterfly as well, so he is slowly becoming an issue, but he's not that big. He's still manageable at this point. So Power Rangers, they can control him. The issue is he's gonna grow out of control eventually. So if you think about it, Bamboy at this point, he's just being a secondary target. He's saying, okay, I'm gonna try and take the target priority from Power Rangers from you, Wagamama. You're going to get farm. I'm going to be targeted. I'm going to give you space. And with the space, you need to farm. and I'm going to try and give you as much time as possible to farm up. It a little bit late, but it's still working. So 4Clovers, if they just keep going with this, it's okay. The only thing I'm sad about is that Bamboy hasn't been pushing at all. Not even with the Spiderling. So with this kind of quirky build, I thought he would have added a little bit of pushing spice to it, but it's not been the case. He's just been going for these kills.
Yeah, and it's pretty much just because Bambo, like we saw him try to go for some split push in the top lane, he got jumped and annihilated, even with the Aegis. So 4Clovers, they are going to smoke up and once again try to look for something else with Yol leading the way with the Aghanim Scepter. They have that full vision. They have Wagmama, who's dishing some serious damage right now, and J4, he may be spotted by this one because there is a gem on the Night Stalker, so they have complete vision, and Cheshire Cat's going to lead the way into a Fiend's Grip. Nothing to interrupt this because Cheshire Cat's the only one with it. Yeah, Fiend's Grip is going to run its course, and that will kill off the Clockwork. Can they get anyone else? They see J4 still, and Yol's hot on his trail. This Night Stalker has another Void cooling down. J4 has no TP. He's just going to waste the time of 4Clovers as much as he can, but I think this bounty is definitely going to go down right now. Lightning slow him down further. Night Stalker can finish him off from here on out. That's going to be 2 easy kills. They also get a third on the Earthshaker. 4Clovers dodged the entire team fight, yet claim so many kills. They give up a ton of gold to Queen of Pain from Bambo's Spiderlings. But now with 3 heroes down, 4Clovers can actually make a high ground push, and this is one that Power Rangers are going to struggle to defend. They don't have a grip to worry about, but still, that's the least of their problems right now.
They don't have any wave clearer as well. They just used the Sonic Wave to clear out a creep wave, so all of a sudden we have a lot of 4Clovers heroes here. Look at the harassment thrown out by them as well. Ditira already down to half HP. He's got to be careful, even throwing an Urn Charge as well to add some salt to the wound. T3 is down. First T3 of the game, and the Raxes are under siege. That's going to be the melee Rax down already. Range Rax going to be the secondary target. Sonic Wave just to clear out the creeps as well as the spiders. They actually left the range Rax a little bit. They realize, oh, we actually haven't killed it yet, so couple of right clicks, they do finish it off. Hookshot is going to connect onto BZZ. They want to try and get the Lash Rack down. BKB is ready. He also has a 4-staff if necessary. And Ditira, he wants to get the Lash Rack. BKB popped on Wagga as well. J4 still alive. There's the Requiem. Now, are they actually going to get some counter kills out of this? There's a hookshot again onto BZZ, but this is a tanky Lash Rack. He's got a 4-staff in the backlines. Vanscore having to pop his own BKB, and he's running away from the Queen of Pain, but Sunlight should be able to get this. He should be able to. Earthshaker going to go down. The sexy Bamboy. There's the call down. They want Wagamama. Will they get him though? He did heal a little bit with the mech. He's still alive actually. Ditira finally kills him. Bamboy in the backlines. He's still there. The Cheshire Cat. He's being chased up by Yol. He was actually caught in the cogs, and Bamboy still hunting for kills. Ditira so low. He does TP out in time. 2 for 3. Power Rangers gonna be happy with that trade-off, but it looks like Yol, he wants the Clockwork. TP is still on cooldown, so he's just got to run at this point. It's like, run, buddy, run. Will he actually get out there? There's going to be the cogs just to buy some time, and Yol, for him to actually for him to chase him, he has to run around. No mana on Cheshire Cat, though. He is a dead man.
I think this is the definition of you can run, but you can't hide.
Did he buy a Sage's Mask?
Yo, you gotta get that mana regen.
I don't know if we just bought that. I don't think so. I'm
pretty sure he did. I don't know. But either way, Sage's Mask purchase, but not going to do that much. There were so many clutch plays in that fight. Bane, surviving at double digits of HP, turns around for a grip onto the Queen of Pain, gets the full channel, the short TP out from Ditira. That could have been disastrous if he went down as well. But end result, kills being traded back and forth. 4Clovers do take the Raxes. And it is pretty late in this game with a Gyrocopter and Queen of Pain with an Aghanim Scepter. One lane of Raxes isn't really going to be the death of Power Rangers, far from it. But still, the Raxes in favor of 4Clovers mean that if they get another sort of team fight where they are, getting consecutive ganks instead of a full 5-on-5, just like we saw to the fight leading up to the Raxes, then that can be their game if they actually manage to make that happen. But for right now, it's Roshan that's going to be the objective for them. This Iza Cheese Roshan, probably Aegis on Wagga, Cheese on BZZ, or swapped around. Either way, these two heroes should be grabbing it. They need these two heroes to stay alive for as long as possible, especially Wagga, who's going to grab the Aegis, and yes, BZZ will grab the Cheese. So trades for Power Rangers. They'll take down a tier 2 tower up on the top lane, but they know that the push is going to be coming. Can they actually get any pickoffs or stall this out in any way, shape, or form? Looks like they'll try to get into Sunlight. King R has a Blink Echo right now. The tower will be denied, and the reinforcements from 4Clovers are not actually coming. It's Bambo who's chilling in the mid lane.
I like 4Clovers. They're still trying to defend anything if necessary. They just don't want to give any sort of advantage to Power Rangers, because giving them gold means item progression, and item progression means that they are going to be able to contend with them at some point. But let's take a look at Ditya at this point. He's got a couple of decent items, but he still needs more. He's got Monkey King bars, BKB, as well as Satanic. So a lot of sustain, plus 1 damage item. But how many more items do you think Ditya needs to actually be a reasonable threat? Because his impact in the team fights, it's not as big as it should be.
He really needs, like, to not get gripped. Like, I don't know if someone on his team is going to build a Lincoln Sphere for that or something like that. They have Sheepstick on the Queen of Pain, which is, I guess, nice, but with BKB on the Bane, that's no guarantee. He needs to either not get gripped through items or whatever, like maybe get that, maybe get the, what's it called, Lotus Orb, or someone on the team could do that, but other than that, he needs more attack speed, so that the Satanic and the Monkey King bar damage can actually come through, because he doesn't actually have that much. Usually don't get a ton of attack speed on the Gyrocopter, but a Butterfly will make things so much easier for Ditya.
Yeah. So we'll see if he can actually get that far, because the game might not even last long enough for him to finish off the Butterfly, because we see another big item pickup, and that's on Wagamama. He's got a Eye of Skadi. He's going to be hitting hard, and he's going to be hard to take down as well. So the very definition of tanky but dangerous. How is Power Rangers going to start dealing with this? They have a burst-oriented draft. They don't have enough sustained damage because Ditya's not there. Echo Slam, they're going to connect onto 2. It's only onto BZZ as well as Wagamama, but there is going to be the Cheese and Aegis available, so Earthshaker already down. Bounty Hunter has to buy back. Bane's already dead though. Cheshire Cat, he's going to be in the front lines. Shadow Fiend is down. BZZ, they're on the high ground. Popped his Cheese, so he's relatively healthy. Wagamama, though, trying to make a getaway. 1 for 2, buyback forced out on the Bounty Hunter. Can they actually get another snipe? J4, he's still there. They're going to go right after that Leshrac, and actually Ditya taking a lot of damage in between the spiders, as well as Bamboy. Look at how much he's healing with the Satanic. Bit of misplays there from 4Clovers to actually give him all those extra units for it, but he finally goes down. Cheshire Cat and Sunlight, they're still fighting J4 in the backlines, trying to go for all of these, all the tracks, but he will go down. He's actually still alive for that little bit longer. Y'all having to make a getaway. They can't afford to lose any more. Blink away will be our big Brood Mama, and that's going to be a pretty big win there for Power Rangers. They get 3 big heroes, Aegis plus Cheese. They forced a buyback on Bounty, but it was the best fight they could really ask for. Very minimal damage to the T3 tower.
Gyrocopter just being such a nuisance with that Satanic. If he had some extra attack speed, I don't know if 4Clovers actually kill him off at that stage. Like, they were doing a pretty decent job after getting initiated upon. Like, that's really all you could expect from 4Clovers at this point, just to try to handle the counter initiation. But a crucial flaw that happened in the last game was the fact that Bane did not get off his BKB, so he took so much extra damage from that. Bambo is actually going to get caught, but BZ is going to actually cut off Cheshire Cat, kill off the Clockwork. He does have a buyback, he's probably going to have to use it. And also, Yul finds J4. BZZ going to get there with a little bit of lightning, and this is once again going to be a situation where Bounty Hunter can run, but he cannot hide. He'll go down as well. He has no more buyback. 4Clovers with the reduced respawn time from Leshrac is actually going to make some big exchange happen with these 2 kills, and one of these 2 heroes, Clockwork, does have the buyback, but in just 10 seconds, the Shadow Fiend is going to be back up alive. He does have a fresh Eye of Skadi, had that one in the last fight as well. Lacking the sustain to go toe-to-toe with the Gyrocopter, who has a Satanic, but it just seems like for 4Clovers, this is probably their best bet as far as taking a secondary set of Raxes right now. If they could pick off someone beforehand, that'll be huge, but I don't really know if they can. Look at the positioning from Power Rangers. They are hiding in the corner, and they can make a defense right now, but it will be a little bit difficult.
When you have to use a cooldown to defend it, not even the creep wave, it's just the spiderlings, it's problematic. It's a big asset they're having to use to clear creep waves, because you don't want to sacrifice any bodies up in the front lines, and Fanboy, he's just being that constant threat. He's always there. He's just going to be in that aggressive position, just poised and waiting to jump onto somebody. And you look at his items, he can go for a quick kill, Yules, stall, and go for a blink out. And what can Power Rangers do? If they jump onto Bamboy, they have to commit to killing him, and he's tanky. Sunlight just going to go for a bit of harassment, but it's going to be Yules. Echo Slam going to connect only onto 1. Vanscore's going to go right down. Hookshot though will connect onto Wagamama. Can they finish him off in time? He will get 4-staffed out though, but they're going to jump right on top of him. Cooldown deployed yet again, but he's not slowed. He's actually really fast. Power Rangers, they have to commit to Wagamama. They will get him though. He will try and go for Requiem. Not going to actually get finished off, so 2 heroes down for 4Clovers. They've got 3 left, but J4 looks like he's going to die. to the Brood Mama yet again. And Ditira, he's going to walk right in, but the Fissure going to disconnect the Brood from his targets. And he will use, he has a blink available, just going to walk down onto the late ground. Is there any detection? I don't think they have any. Oh god, the combo.
Tangoing with two. Sunlight and Cheshire Cat going to try to kill off this Leshrac with the Blade Mail. They will. And now they're going to turn towards Yul. Sunlight, Cheshire Cat have more than enough damage to kill off this Night Stalker if they could get the cogs up once again. But Clockwork's once again out of mana. And Yul might be able to slip away. But it's still a 3 for 2. Bambo's going to rejoin this Night Stalker. But killing off Clockwork, that's a tall order. Killing off Ditira, an even taller one. Mid lane is kind of being messed up though. Yule Scepter to cancel the TP. Now going towards Sunlight, bursting down the Queen of Pain. Ditira's going to turn and fight. But they're just stalling out for mid lane at this point. Ditira versus Bambo. And Yul has Cheshire Cat coming in as well, but still with no mana. They don't have any detection either. This Night Stalker has a gem. If they can kill him off, grab the gem, they could actually kill off the Broodmother, but they can't because they don't have enough mana. Now Cheshire Cat's gonna get kited, burst down by Bambo, not quite fully. With the Blade Mail up, he's still alive, albeit barely. 1 Force Staff in, 2 hits. Clockwork is dead. And Bambo and Yul surviving throughout all of that. The damage was done in the mid lane, where they took down a tier 4 tower rather, and brought the other one down to less than half HP, but for the Power Rangers side, they're still holding because of all this burst. The problem is that BZ is back up, the Shadow Fiend is back up as well, and well, 4Clovers, if they can get their BKBs up, these fights will be so much more different. But Power Rangers, they're chain stunning and initiating so perfectly that 4Clovers don't really have much to do in response.
They're hanging on. This is what Power Rangers needs. They're hanging on, and they are starting to come online with these heroes. So they have a chance. 4Clovers, they have to be a little bit more careful with execution. They have to be mindful of the Clockwork. They have to be mindful of the Queen of Pain. There's just so much that they have to jump onto the heroes. It's always been Earthshaker, King R, always blinking in with the Echo Slam initiation, which it's pretty much the best thing they could do. Just use the Earthshaker as the main source of initiation so that he's the one bursted down. He tanks up all the damage, and that opens up room for your Queen of Pain, your Clockwork, to go for those jump in, and to just finish off picking off the heroes. So good stuff for Power Rangers. They're doing the right thing. 4Clovers, they probably just have to show a little bit more respect to the initiation from Power Rangers. There's a lot of initiation, and I think they've been a bit hasty when it comes to going up high ground. They want to put damage under the tower, but it means that they're exposing themselves when they do so.
It's a 2-minute Roshan respawn timer. That is going to be not favoring anyone hugely, but for Power Rangers, they're definitely going to be okay with the fact that it's not instantly going to respawn. We have a Lotus Orb being picked up by Yul. That isn't really going to be the most effective item. Like, again, the skills that it can reflect are slim, but the dream, of course, for Night Stalker, you reflect the Sheep Stick that's on the Queen of Pain, and that can very well win 4Clovers a fight if that does happen, but other than that, they're just going to stake out Roshan and just wait it out. They still have the 1 Rax advantage right now. They still have BZ, who is continuously tanking up, but he is running out of Bloodstone charges, so his respawn timer is going to be growing. They are going to have mid lane and top lane. Actually, top lane is pushing in towards the Dire side, so 4Clovers don't have that working for them, and they do have to worry about the smoke. Power Rangers looking for someone. Cheshire Cat leading the way along with J4, and if they see Yul, then that's going to be a kill. They do see Yul. Sheep Stick in, hook shot in as well. Yul's in so much trouble. He gets a Force Staff out, he has the gem, and he so desperately wants to keep it, but there's so many blinkers. That Lotus Orb did actually nothing. Now they see Bank score as well. They're going to grab the gem. Did they just... I don't know where the gem went, but either way, Bank score getting a hook shot in. Cheshire Cat's going to take the Bane down as well. Brain Sap not even going to be casted there. They take down the tier 1 tower as well, and that's 2 free kills for Power Rangers. Unfortunately for them, Roshan is not up right now, so they do have to worry about this mid lane. They will have to fall back, but 4Clovers is still just getting a couple of extra casualties that maybe could have been avoided if they were a little bit more defensively positioned.
How good would it have been for Power Rangers if Roshan was up? That would have mean they could have had Cheese, they could have had an Aegis. So, unfortunately, the Dota gods are not going to bless them. JR just going to walk by the Broodmother. Neither of them have vision of each other, but if J4 reveals himself at this point, he is a dead bounty hunter. Even with the cloak, just so much magical burst on Sexy Bad Boy. But those 2 kills for Power Rangers, it really opened up the map for them because it means that they can farm a little bit more freely. They still have to be worried about Bad Boy, but it means that 4Clovers can't be aggressive because they have to be worried that they are already outnumbered, and those heroes had no buyback. So Power Rangers a little bit more free. They are going to try and roam around together. They're going to check the Roche. They actually know because J4 checked it just now. They're going to try and go for a Divine... Oh no. Oh no, he's bought a Divine Rapier. This might be problematic if 4Clovers tries to jump onto him and they can kill him. But can they do it though?
I don't even know if they know about this right now. Ditchira is going to take down Roshan. This Divine Rapier gonna give him so much damage, but also so much HP with the Satanic. They know that Roshan is dropping steadily. They can't afford to let Cheshire Cat grab an Aegis right now. They get the Hex off onto Sunlight. They don't have enough burst to kill him off. However, BZZ charging forward right now with the Pulse Nova. They'll go for J4 first, but he's the least of their problems because now Ditchira has a Divine Rapier and an Aegis. Waga's going to get torn to shreds by this Gyrocopter. Still at full HP. Sunlight not even dying just yet. Will eventually go down in a 3-for-3 so far. King R is still alive, but not for long. They will get an ultra kill for Ditchira. BZZ gonna slip out of there, but Dr. Aegis is in the house, and Ditchira took like 100 damage that entire fight, 300 damage that entire fight. That was nothing. Cheese was, I don't actually know who used it or picked it up or whatever, but 4Clovers, considering they're up against a Gyrocopter with a Rapier, that was actually very impressive. Oh no,
Oh no, the
you guys, you can't afford to lose gems like that. 4Clovers, they think that the cheese is there still. They know that there's gems in the area, but Ditchira's still there. He grabs one of the gems, maybe. You know, he's going to run to BZZ, who's going to try to tango with Ditchira right now. Split Earth is not going to connect, and now BZZ has to get the hell out of there. He doesn't have enough damage to kill off Gyrocopter, even if it were to connect, but mid lane, Gyrocopter has to get back there, has travels, and will use those boots to get back, but man, this Gyrocopter didn't really do as much as I really would have thought. For 4Clovers, a 4-for-4 should be, yeah, they should be pretty happy about that.
I wouldn't be happy though. It's a Gyrocopter with a Divine Rapier. They did manage to burst down Cheshire Cat in the Roche Pit. How tanky is he actually? He's got 24k HP, so if they knew there was a Divine Rapier on Ditchira, I'm pretty sure they would have put all the focus onto the Gyrocopter, but because they didn't know about it until after the Roche had gone down and the fight was already happening, everything just went downhill for them. And because Ditchira survived through everything, he's now got a whole pile of gold in his inventory. He's also got the Aegis. So this is very problematic for 4Clovers. It's a Divine Rapier Gyrocopter. If you do not focus him down, you are going to cop a lot of damage. If you do focus him down, you're going to have to deal with the rest of his team as well. So a lot of stuff is happening for 4Clovers. The thing is, can they execute the team fights? If they can get the Divine Rapier and put it onto someone like the Shadow Fiend or the Broodmother, hell, if they even put it onto somebody tanky, like their Night Stalker or even their Leshrac as well, that's fine, because it's a Divine Rapier, it's free damage, they can capitalize on it. So we'll see how 4Clovers deals with the Divine Rapier, if they're going to focus down Gyro, or if they're going to just try and slowly pick apart Power Rangers, because we have seen Power Rangers get a little bit cocky sometimes and just kind of go around in their own way, just not together.
Like what J4 is doing right now. He does have Cheshire Cat, who is in hookshot range behind him, but J4 knows that 4Clovers do not have any gems up at the very least. They may have dust or sentries. They just use one set of dust and they have another one cooling down, but yeah, J4 just on the scout right now, and Power Rangers, they're going to get Gyrocopter really big. He is pretty much fully 6-slotted, can get those shards up and get a little bit of extra attack speed, but man, this Gyrocopter is leading the way in farm. Broodmother not too far behind him, but this Broodmother is not really going to get into a fight with Ditchira that she could win. Even the incapacitating bite, though ordinarily would be great versus the Gyrocopter for the miss chance, isn't really going to be working out because of that MKB. And now it's just Ditchira moving down the mid lane. No, he's going to teleport up to the Queen of Pain, where BZZ is already on the run. Force Staff looking for a little bit of time to TP out. Call down is going to whiff completely, and Blink Blind from Sunlight not going to matter though, because Cheshire Cat comes with a hook shot. Sonic Wave going to kill off BZZ. Can't even commit suicide beforehand. And Power Rangers, they just got a very big pick off on a hero that's going to be dead for a full minute. Can they do anything about it? They are going to be spotted on the rotation in. Ditchira doesn't have that much support right now, but the heroes from 4Clovers are not in a position to fight right now. They need the 4-staff Sheepstick for Leshrac. That is their best way at actually picking off the Gyrocopter. 4-staff Sheepstick, try to burst him down, but even then he has an Aegis, so they have to just wait this one out.
This is a very tough spot for 4Clovers. They have high ground advantage though. That's probably the only thing that's going in their direction at this point. The game's slipping, and they looked very strong for a while, but all of a sudden, a couple of lost fights and a lot of gold going in the way of Power Rangers through track kills and also them being behind. remember, 4Clovers, they had to have heroes ahead in net worth to stay equalized with Power Rangers. Because they're behind now, it's a bit of a different story, but look at the burst from Bamboy. You're not dead, but he will drop a little bit low. He actually popped the Satanic, and he was used into the air, so that's going to deny him any sort of regen. So he's going to pop the BKB. He wants to go into the fight. He wants to pop the Aegis, so he's going to just pretty much reset fan score. He's going to survive by a tiny bit. There's the mech, but blink forward by Sunlight, and they're going to lose their Bane. Dateira, though, he's still up, and he just wants to go right after the Raxes. Call down deploy just to slow down Wagamama at this point. It's still only one hero down. They almost got Sunlight, but unfortunately, the Yules is there to pretty much deny the Leshrac any sort of chance to killing him in the end. One Rax is down. Another combo coming out from Bamboy. Dateira still up. There's the Echo Slam, but it's only going to connect on the two heroes. They lose the Gyro. That's actually the Divine Rapier on the deck. Who picked that up? I don't even know who picked it up, but never mind.
He has it, and he's pretty healthy right now. Requiem with the high ground. Digivaw's going to charge in. Sunlight jumps in, though. Going to get hit and killed off just once. Bambo still on the run with 140 HP. Turns around for the burst, and Cheshire Cat will still survive the flare. King R with the fissure will get the kill, though. Wagmama will be safe. Ditchira doing quite a bit of damage, but BZZ can do even more. Split Earth is there with the Sheep Stick. Divine Rapier damage. Ditchira going to die again. He just bought back, and Broodmother's going to buy back. 4Clovers smell blood in the water. They're going to hunt forward for more kills. They get the silence onto Sunlight. Yule Scepter is there. Can they get this crippling fear off? They will. Sunlight has no BKB, and he'll lose his life as well. He also just bought back. The burst from Bambo, man. I don't know what happened that would change it, but suddenly it seems like he has like a level 10 Dagon or something like that, just because he did so much damage to that Gyrocopter, who has the Satanic available, but he used the Satanic right before his Aegis popped, so he actually wasted the Satanic charge. And without that survivability tool, his survivability went down the tubes. He has no more Divine Rapier, he has no more Aegis, and BZZ, he is trucking with damage right now. Everyone and their mom's going to buy back from 4Clovers, and Power Rangers, without any more buybacks of their own, need a miracle right now, but they have no Echo Slam. They have Hookshot on a very low cooldown. They catch Yul with it. King R, though, going to get bursted down. Yule Scepter will dodge death for right now. But Waga, he's focusing on what matters. He's going for the Ancient, and BZZ with the Divine Rapier is going to go for the Ancient as well. Bambo sitting inside the Ancient as Fang Score, just going to get a grip off for value, canceling the only person who could cancel the grip, and this looks like it's good game. Power Rangers, it looked like they had this game, but they put Ditchira on the front lines for a little bit too long, and he misused his Satanic, and without that, he just goes down. That's no Divine Rapier. They buy out, try to take the fight, but man, that was a close game for 4Clovers.
That was very close. It was pretty much a 3-2-2 with the Divine Rapier. If that didn't happen, I would have expected this game to go in the way of Power Rangers, and it should have. They hung on for so long, they managed to come back, they even overtook 4Clovers in net worth, and all of a sudden, they just throw it away with one fight. That's what happens during a 60-minute game as well, so unfortunate there for Power Rangers, not even able to take one game off of 4Clovers today. So it's going to be a 2-0 sweep for 4Clovers. They can be pretty happy with that.
Oh, for sure, and now they are going to be on top of their group. They were competing with Power Rangers initially for first place in Group 4, but now it's 4Clovers 2-0, Power Rangers 1-1. It's still not over for Power Rangers, and it's still not over for us, guys. We have another game coming up, which should be, well, it should have started 9 minutes ago, so it's going to be a little bit late perhaps, but that one is going to be between Moscow 5 and Burden United. Both those two teams are also on top of their group, so it's going to be a decider match there. Not for the end of the groups or anything, just for the intermittent standings. But I'm Mikelorus. I've been joined by Danelie. If you like the casting, guys, be sure to follow us on Twitter. I'm Mikelorus. You can find me at Mikelorus. You can find my co-caster at DanelieCast. It's all in the title right now. And we'll be right back in just a little bit, hopefully, for Moscow 5 versus Burden United. See you then, guys. GG.